For the last part of my MetalCloak installation series, you could call it, I have the rocker rails. So you're supposed to do these last if you're doing everything, including like the front and rear fenders, because basically they're going to line up with these bolts and then like line up right here. So the first thing you have to do is, if you have this stock piece right here, it just has some 8mm bolts and then some like tabs that you pull. And then we're gonna, because we want it to be flush, we're gonna drill out these two rivet nuts to 1/2 inch. Just take a 1/2 inch drill bit and drill them to make it flat, and then clean the surface area before we go to mount it, and then I'll be prepping the surface. I'm on the driver's side here, so you have this wire loom and this like plastic guard thing, so we want to get it out of the way so we're not drilling through all these wires by accident. So basically there's 3 of these little screws and clips, so you unscrew it, just a regular Phillips head, and then you can pull like the plunger out, and then the wire loom has little clips right here, that go into the bottom of this, and then you can kind of, it takes some effort, but you can pry this panel off. And now we should actually be ready. So now that that wire's out of the way, what we're gonna do is take one of these, get it on the jack with some wood, and we're gonna use some C-clamps and jack it up into place and get it real good, and then we'll center punch the holes that we need to drill. Work to get it where I think it lined up. So first of all, you'd use all 4 of these 4x4s that came with the kit, and then so you remove these 2 bolts over here, right? And then I actually fed them back in just to help me align it for now. I'm gonna have to take them out again. But so some of these holes go to 17/32, some go to 1/2 inch. But anyway, I'm going to start with like small 1/8 of an inch pilot holes while it's up here. Careful not to scratch the powder coat, and then remove it, and then progressively drill it larger and larger. And yeah, so there's holes lining the top and then also at the bottom. So I've got it all done besides the 17/32 inch holes. I painted over just to prevent rust where I drilled. So the problem is I went to even Home Depot and couldn't find a 17/32 inch bit. So basically what I'm going to do is just, I have the 1/2 inch size, and then I'm going to ream it out a little bit. So I'm going to ream it out. I got to get the rivet nut in there, and basically you put an 11/16 wrench and a 9/16 socket and hold the nut in place, and then tighten down on this socket, and that will clamp the rivet nut into place. So this right here is the installation tool. So this bolt, nut, and washer, and then we're going to do this for all 6 rivet nuts. So they go in the frontmost hole, the next one, and then all the way in the back on each side. So there's going to be 6 rivet nuts total. Looks like after installation. The next thing is just putting in the bolts according to the picture. So there's 2 different length bolts. I have them sorted out right here. So there's, I think, inch and 1.25 inch, and you just put bolt and nut and washer. So we're going to put the rockers back up and just bolt them in, and then we'll see how it looks. They're actually 3/4 of an inch and 1 inch, and you're going to need a 7/32 hex bit and a 9/16 wrench in order to put them in. This is what it looks like all done. It was seriously a pain, but we got it done. One last trick that I found useful is if you take your wrench and put some tape on the back and then put the nut in. For all of these bottom ones that you got to come up, it helps a lot to hold the nut in as you're trying to feed it onto the bolt. But yeah, I got the whole MetalCloak kit finally installed. Looks good.